taking its time here. All right, looks like YouTube just went live. Facebook is still loading. Come on. Come on. Don't know why it does that. I have to let it fully load before I start. YouTube, that seems to be the problem I run into. If I try to hit both at the same time, it's a problem. So we may need to redo that briefly. Give me just a moment here, guys, for the for YouTube. It's going to take me a moment. I got to get the Facebook actually going correctly. If they start going at the same time, it's a problem. So one of the problems I run into, I hit the Facebook, I start it, and then I wait a minute, and if it's not loading, I'll jump over and I load the YouTube. But if I do that, it never loads. Like it will just stay loading forever. So my connection doesn't like it. If I have them both loading at the same time, it's very, very strange. But hopefully we get a few people in here. There we go. First view kicked into YouTube. Let me get the Facebook stream going now. Take it a moment. And then we should be good. And then we'll hopefully get a nice productive live. The last one was pretty good. Could be better. It should be pretty good. There we go. Now the Facebook has fully loaded. So I usually have to do it that way. All right. So we are live. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here. I'm streaming on both platforms right now. We are on both Facebook and YouTube, getting a cardio session done as my second one of these today. And so we're just going to be lots of me all over the place because I'm going to stream all of these today are going to be streamed on both platforms. I have a lot of live video of me today. That's again, we do both at the same time. So we did over an hour on the first one. Hopefully we get a nice productive one with lots of people in here. Plenty of good conversations, right? All of that stuff that we want to see. Right? Did it not put? There it went. All right. All that's loading a little bit slow. So, again, a couple viewers in here. Take a moment. It may not be reaching people's feeds yet. My regulars haven't kicked in yet, my regular morning people. So I don't think it's going out into people's feeds just yet. Let's give it a little longer. Let's see what happens. And hopefully we get people in here, get some good conversations, topics. I had people in both Facebook and YouTube both this morning. So hoping we'll get more of that with the rest of these. There's the first like. That means that's probably a regular. So then this will start kicking out into people's feeds and we can get us a productive live stream here. I will say, based on that first one, the bike is definitely harder than the walking with the setting I use on it. Because I was breaking a sweat. It was much more difficult than my morning walks. Because normally I don't have a comparison because I've usually, before I get on the bike, I've usually done a long walk. I've usually trained first. I'm not used to doing it fresh first thing in the morning. It's definitely a little bit higher intensity than my walks for sure. So that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. It means we get plenty of calorie burn. But hopefully we get people in here shortly. And we'll get a productive set of conversations going. Obviously, I'm just going to point out all the time, it's fake natties are all over YouTube. I mean, just like we saw with the Max UC thing, someone pointed out to me, like, he got hurt again. The guy only trains on machines. How is he getting hurt? Drugs and overuse, right? Drugs and overuse, using probably tren. Again, notorious for tendon pulls, tendon ruptures, injuries. Notorious for it, very popular in those circles, probably that. Overuse injuries from being machines all the time, locked into the same position. Just a repetitive, same locked in the same position with no real freedom of movement. This is not a good combination. And yet people listen to these guys and they follow them. Like the dude's like in his 20s, he can't even do machines without getting injured multiple times. Come on. Like, why is anyone taking his fitness advice? Because he looks good, but he looks good because he takes trend. Come on. Absurdity. Absolute absurdity. But people fall for it. I saw that the time too when he was talking about his injury, people directed me to it. And I was like, he's just pimping supplements and quests, protein cookies, and all sorts of nonsense. As if these things are even useful. And that's its own set of problems there, right? Protein junk food. Everyone eating their protein junk food and then pretending like this is actually, beneficial, helpful. It's nonsense. If you want protein, eat some chicken breast, eat some Greek yogurt, eat an egg. You do not need a protein cookie or a protein bar. It's just processed junk. Right? That is literally all that it is. Nothing more than processed junk. Yet people are promoting these things. All these influencers promote these things, as if they're part of a fitness lifestyle just because it's got protein added. How insane is that? And it's not like most of us struggle to get enough protein. Let's be realistic. If we're eating animal source stuff at all, if we're doing dairy and lean meats in our diet at all, most of us are not having trouble getting enough protein to gain muscle. We really aren't. Be realistic here. I mean, I get it. Vegans are going to have trouble doing it. But people who are eating a mixed, varied omnivore diet, any of you guys really struggling to get enough protein, to the point where we need to be eating protein cookies. And people say, well, what about the satiety of protein? Fiber's higher satiety than protein, number one. But number two, if you're concerned with satiety, are you going to be eating Quest protein cookies to begin with? I mean, let's be realistic. What's your satiety problem? Is it the lack of protein or the fact that you're trying to work junk food like that in? That's the issue. So the protein is not fixing the fact. It's just such a fascinating thing, that everyone knows really that whole foods are healthier, yet we have all these fitness people who are continually pimping all these junk products. Like I'll see some of them and it's like they're lean and they look good, but it's like you're also really young and you've never been fat and you train. Obviously it's easier to be leaner, particularly if they throw drugs in, but it's always this, that just they mix all this refined stuff in and pretend that it's part of eating healthy instead of just whole foods. Meat, rice, vegetables, dairy, eggs, fruit, nuts. These are whole foods, guys. But it's all this. I mixed all this mixed up with my whatever almond milk. Like almond milk is somehow in some way not just a junk food. It's not even unsweetened almond milk. It's just like, this is garbage. Why couldn't you just done some regular? Why couldn't you just done a lactose-free milk? Or why did you need the almond milk at all? Like, I don't get it. And then they'll eat their Quest protein cookies or something with it later. And it's like, you're still just eating junk. Why not just, if you're going to claim to be promoting fitness and health, why not just eat whole foods? Why not just promote whole foods to your audience? Oh, because there's no sponsorships from them? Because big rice and big chicken and big steak, sirloin steak, is not going to sponsor you. That's what it comes down to. There's at least some sponsorship in healthy TM, just like those healthy cereals I put up. I had someone argue that too. They argued to me, well, the nutrition profile, that's still better than white rice. Is it really? Are you sure? Did you check? And last time I checked, white rice didn't have refined sugars added. And therein lay the problem. I mean, we really want to talk about what's killing us as a society. Let's setting aside alcohol and stuff. Refined sugars, excessive saturated fat, refined fats, ultra-processed foods, and the ultra-processed foods goes hand in hand with the refined sugar. This is our problem, right? This is our problem. And even though I might tell people, hey, you do need to limit saturated fat, I don't think we're getting sick because we ate a sirloin steak. I'm not going to go promote keto here, but I mean, realistically, nobody's getting sick and fat from eating a lean steak. This is still not really the problem because that's still moderated saturated fat, right? There's just not that much on a sirloin steak. Lacey says, just dropped in to say hello, just finished up working out and loading up my truck. Welcome aboard, Lacey. This is a slow stream so far this morning. It'll probably pick up though, right? But at least the comments will help get in the engagement. So did you hit the like button also, Lacey? That always helps. I don't think this has hit the feed of any of my regulars because none of my regular morning crowd are in, and they were in the first one. So it happens, I suppose. Yeah, it does. But I do a lot of lives, but I double stream them. So I double dip anyways. Like the bike ones, I'm doing all of them on Facebook and YouTube. So, I mean, we're doubling up on the ads potentially. So even if one of them is slow, it doesn't matter. But this view is low enough. I know it hasn't hit people's feeds yet. So any engagements that you give, start kicking it over. There's a second like. That means your post probably put it into other people's feeds. So I appreciate that, Lacey. You at least chiming in. Because now that a second like came, now it'll pick up. Because now it's going to hit someone's feeds. And then we may boost up to 30, 40, 50 likes or views at some point. So, yeah, those engagements matter. They matter. So, yeah, hope you have a good day, Lacey. Hope you had a good workout. What'd you train today? Because you're the only one commenting. Let's find out what you worked. What'd you do? I almost never see it show up. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how that works, honestly, because I don't have that. I appreciate it, Merrick. I appreciate you double dipping. I guess you hit the like on the YouTube also. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, there you go. So Carol double dips for me. He hits both my feet, so that's good. Just squats and snatches and some pull-ups. Yeah, nothing short. I'm back to full body training. I don't know if you saw the vlog place. Yeah, I do full body 3 days a week and just lots of cardio. I'm doing jumping and sleds again though too. Working more and more athletic stuff in. So yeah. But I squat, bench, and deadlift at the start of every workout now. We start with the back squat, which really should be the foundational movement for everybody's training. I don't care who you are. I'm going to always say that in videos and posts. Your little brother should be squatting. Your grandma should be squatting. The back squat would help everyone tremendously. All right. Back squat would help everybody tremendously. And people get too hung up in, can I replace it with a leg press? No. You'd be an athletic piece of crap. Like, we're not just doing this to gain muscle in your legs. The squat goes way beyond that. Hello, Frederick. How you doing? The back squat goes way beyond, am I gaining leg muscle? And I think that's what people forget. It's a full body exercise. There's a neural component and an athletic component to it. There's a reason elite world-class sprinters back squat instead of just leg pressing. And again, it has to do with the athletic performance carryover. Back squats are just going to make you more athletic than doing a leg press is, because you're having to stabilize the load with your whole body. All right? Yeah, everything from the bar down gets work. And it's the intramuscular coordination that we're looking at. There's a reason the back squat is so heavily used by strength and conditioning coaches for elite athletes in dozens of sports. There's a reason for that. And I would say to people, they still get hot coming up in, well, what if I only am chasing hypertrophy? If you only care about gaining muscle, then why don't you use massive doses of tren? Would always be my response. They'd be like, well, because it's unhealthy, but you only care about hypertrophy. It's illegal, but you only care about hypertrophy. You see what I'm saying? People like to use that line as a cop-out for lazier training. Well, clearly you care about your health, so then you should do the squat. It has more health and fitness benefits than the leg press does. And I'm not saying leg press isn't useful, but that when people use that line, well, no, because I do care about my health. Then why aren't you squatting? I mean, this is what these arguments, they don't literally mean they only care about hypertrophy. Because if they did, they would all shotgun so much trim that their eyeballs turned yellow. Okay. Frederick says, I love lifting, but I have a deformity that's called pectus carinatum. It causes inflammation of the tendons of the pectoralis muscles, impacts my training. I'm sorry to hear that, Frederick. But there's always, where there's a will, there's a way. We find ways to work around those things, don't we? Right? But here's the thing, man. Many people deal with a lot of struggles, but it sounds like you said you love lifting. You're still getting it in and getting it done. And that's what matters at the end of the day. Elijah says, good morning. Quick question. If one signs up for your training, does one's training videos have to be shown on YouTube? No. Alonzo, the people who I vlog are volunteers, and they're people who I think should be in the vlogs. Meaning, just because you volunteer for vlogging doesn't mean I'm going to vlog you. Make sense? So even if you were to say, hey, I want you to vlog my stuff, I still might say that. So obviously I would never put up a video without a client's permission, Alonzo. I mean, and I can understand you asking that, but think about that for a moment. As a coach, do you really think I would ever put up someone's video without getting their permission first? Of course not. And I've absolutely had numerous clients who, because of their specific jobs, do not want their videos put up. Like police officers and things like that. They absolutely don't want any of their stuff put up, ever. So that's fairly common for me as a coach. I would say I have a pretty large number of clients in that position. Yeah, absolutely, Alonzo. So shoot me a message over on Facebook. I'd love to get you in. Hey, man, shoot me a message today. Let's get an application started, right? But no, I would absolutely never, ever, ever put up a client's lifting videos without their express written permission, like in Messenger with them giving a written permission would absolutely be required before I would put one up. 100, like I'd never, ever, ever would break that rule. Lacey says, and I can throw a roping saddle on 16 and a half horses, 6'5", right? There you go. I mean, so you got functional strength, Lacey. You can't argue with it. Can we argue with that? Good morning, Coach. Hope all is good. Lars, doing good, man. Doing good. It's finally picking up. This started really slow. Now we're kind of trucking along. I'm also streaming on Facebook also, guys. Not many questions there yet. That's hit or miss. Some days I get 100 questions. Some days I don't get any. Well, stream to stream. That's the thing with inflammation. I get us to the level that if I were to keep lifting, it would injure due to the inflammation. Yeah, but it's just that one tendon, right, Frederick? You can do other stuff. In other words, squats, deadlifts, rows, all of that, they don't affect that tendon. So it's literally just chest-related movements, probably pressing and things that are a problem for you. In which case, just do those, I had a client with a torn pec that he chose not to get reattached because it only tore one of the tendons, and he did it not doing something I had in a program for him. Therefore, it's like, don't say coach tore his tendon. No, he was absolutely doing an exercise I did not even have in his program. He tore it on something I did not have in his program. We continue to train. He's still got a detached tendon that he didn't get reattached. He just don't want to do the surgery. But he can still do pull-ups, overhead pressing, even with a torn, one of the two pec tendons torn. Right? So you can still do other stuff even if that's inflamed. Nice to see everyone. I've got to go. Sean Horse, pray for you. I will do. Right? I will keep that in mind, Lacey. I hope that you are able to get enough to pay off your truck. Have a good one. Take care. Thanks for dropping through. Thank you for dropping through. We had more views. It died down a little. It was going up. What happened, guys? Oh, noes. Oh, well. What you going to do? All right. No other comments on Facebook. So this is obviously a non-lifting day for me, people. So what's everybody else training? Let's hear. Lars, what are you training today? You in here still? Carol, you in here? Where you guys at? Let's get some conversation going. Interesting, I'm not sweating on this one like I was the first one. Same temperature inside. Same fans on, but I was really sweating on this first stream. Same pace. Interesting. I should be in contact with you later today. Awesome. Look forward to it alone too. I look forward to it. As long as I remember to hit the big Facebook page, not my profile, because it goes to my spam folder. I work till 4 p.m. guys. 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, cool. Cool. I'll probably be at my desk finishing up work. How long does it take digest? Rice to digest? I want to use it pre-workout. I don't know. Unbelievable. You're going to have to go research that, because digest is a relative term and gastric emptying rates vary from person to person. Your lifestyle, your genetics, the other foods you mix with it are all enormous factors. You're going to have to do some research, and you're going to have to need to, I don't know what you necessarily mean by digest. Do you mean gastric emptying, or do you mean entire transit time till it comes out your butt? So if you want to use it effectively pre-workout, you should probably eat it the night before. Like, that's what I do. All right. All right. I'm not a believer in pre-workout nutrition, obviously. I think that's, people could probably infer that from the fact that I train fasted and do all my cardio fasted. Like, I'd be training 12 hours after my last meal with calories all the time. It's pretty normal. So there's a lot of quite a variables to what you're trying to do. Unbelievable persistent. So by digestion, you're just not wanting it in your stomach because you don't want to puke, or what's the deal? That's one big perk of training fasted, by the way. You'd never have food in your stomach to vomit up when you're going hard, because we've all puked from squats, haven't we? Right? Anyone who tells you they've never puked from squats, I'm going to question how hard you're training. If you've never vomited after doing a squat set and you claim you train hard, I'm going to, maybe say, I don't know, maybe you don't train as hard as you think. If people accuse me of not training hard, and I've definitely had my puking after squats. So I don't know necessarily what you're looking for. Unbelievable. Whether you're looking for transient times, you're trying to use it for fuel, you're just trying to avoid a full stomach because you vomit. Different things to factor in. But I am absolutely just not a believer in pre-workout or pre-workout nutrition, just personally. In fact, the data we had even showed in recent data, I saw Minnow link it, training fasted doesn't appear to inhibit muscle growth at all. At all. When it's been studied. So, but I've done that a while, and I've known other guys who did and got me into it. I talked to who were very knowledgeable coaches. They're like, dude, I train fasted. It's not a big deal. And I started doing it. And I realized it totally is fine. It works. And then again, we don't deal with ever having puking our food up. We don't deal with the full stomach. We don't deal with blood flow going to the stomach to digest food. It's a nice thing. Then we can just train. We simply train. Just focused on the work. All right. All right, anything else, guys? We went on that rant for a few minutes. All right. We went on that one for a little while. Yeah. Surprised we don't get more of the others in. Lars is in here. Unbelievable's in. I wonder where the other regulars are. Where's all my British crew? Probably their work day now, though, isn't it? Is it about 1 o'clock? None of them are on their lunch break. Some of them hit me at work, though. Any new SARM studies? No. SARMs are dead. Daniel, SARMs are dead. They're a dead topic. They don't need studies because the researchers gave up on it. Like SARMs are dead. They're going to have to come up with a new generation of different drugs. The only people still talking about SARMs are con artist salesmen who are trying to sell them to you. That's it. Nobody else cares. They didn't work correctly. They never made it through FDA approval. Companies aren't right now interested in dumping more money in them. Why would they? Right? Why would they? We already have anabolics that do a good enough job of being SARM-like that it gets the job done. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. Right? The science is already where they need it to be. It's been there for 30 years for medical purposes. So companies are just not interested in making them at this point. Right? So again, SARMs are purely an internet teenager phenomenon that influencers use to sell stuff to 20-year-olds. They're garbage. We all know that. And again, none of them really made it through the FDA's approval. They're like, yeah, no, this isn't going to work. So companies aren't interested in researching them. Big Pharma's not going to make money off of them. They've already make their money off of what works. Testosterone, androlone. That's pretty much the whole bag in the U.S. now for the various purposes they're used for therapeutically. And it makes sense. You would want testosterone for replacing testosterone. Makes perfect sense. Nandrolone works for everything we need for muscle building in a clinical setting where you want to reduce androgen load. And it's more effective for it in a clinical setting than any other drug that's ever been produced. There's a reason it's the only thing used in terms of benefit versus health versus reward. Pretty much dominates. The only exception being maybe for children, which is one of the reasons VAR was invented. But SARMs just as a topic are pretty dead. It was a cute idea, but it didn't pan out. It's just they end up being inferior in every way to existing anabolics. So why bother? I train twice per day, so is the meal before MMA training. Gotcha. So I don't know what your digestion time is going to be. Unbelievable. So I mean, I would look at, are you getting discomfort? Look at, is it working? Are you getting the desired performance from it without getting GI tract distress during your MMA? But white rice works great for athletes of that nature. I think it's a solid choice. Assuming you have good insulin sensitivity, which you probably do. You're reasonably lean. You're doing MMA plus lifting. Assume you probably do. Hey, Mustafa, what's up? Did 3 sets with 174 sounds. Yeah, I can't do all the math in the middle of the thing. Mustafa. 7 reps for 2 sets. No, your deficit shouldn't be automatically weaker. No. Sounds like you went up in weight. What do you mean? What do you mean weaker? That doesn't sound weaker to me. I mean, I can't do the math for you, but you were doing like 10 reps with 110 kilos, right? That's not weaker. Adding weight and losing reps is not weaker. All right. But yeah, you can't necessarily expect significant strength gains for a really advanced lifter already in a deficit, Mustafa. Just because you didn't replicate the reps when you added weight doesn't mean you're weaker. Yeah. Unbelievable. Since I lift fasted but train twice a day, the white rice meal is just refuel my second session, which is MMA. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Especially if you're going hard at it. Not everybody's trying to do what I'm doing with all the fasted training. It's like, let's lift, then push the sled, then do list cardio fasted. Not everybody's trying to do that. Decided to call day after 3 sets. I think calling a day after 3 sets is wise, Mustafa. Again, considering you don't have access to certain things and are on a budget, you can't afford an injury. Given that I know you can't afford coaching and other stuff, you really can't afford an overuse injury financially. So keep the volumes reasonable, But unbelievable. I think that's perfectly fine. That sounds reasonable to me. But I still don't know what your personal digestion time is going to be. And again, keep in mind, gastric emptying, transient times are all very individual from person to person. Like, you'd be shocked how different it can be. Like, or literally shocked if you started looking at data and realized what takes one person 2 hours takes another person 22 hours. Now, as an athlete, your times are going to be much, much faster. I just saw side pose, old and current. That shift to less isolation upper body work is a smart move. I mean, Carol, I was doing no supine work. The only isolation I was doing during that time period was some hammer curls. That was, and I don't just mean arm, I mean in general. So what do we say about that? Also, Carol, if you'd comment on that on Facebook under that actual picture, that would be super helpful. I think my followers forget that is beneficial to me. That literally puts money in my pocket. Like, every comment that people leave under my pictures on Facebook literally puts money in my bank account, like straight up. So it's not a lot. It's like a penny or a nickel, but it still adds up. All right. Like, literally, if someone comes in there and calls me a complete disgusting fat ass, I get paid for it. Like, I'm serious. Dude, you're so disgusting. You're so hideous. Thank you. My bank account appreciates it. You know, unlike YouTube, it doesn't do that. All right. I was watching some older videos where you were squatting and benching every day. Yeah, that was when I was doing Bulgarian training, Mustafa. And it's too much. Like that, it started to have really serious overuse for me. But 3 times a week is working really, really well. But, yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, I'm leaner, but I don't think I'm bigger, and I don't think my arms are bigger. So, how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sets of curls have I done? Strict curls, cheat curls, incline curls, alternating curls, versus doing no curls other than occasional hammer curls, dips, pressing, pull-ups. I'm definitely leaner. That's really all we can say there, you know. But I mean, I've really focused on biceps a lot the last couple of years, a lot. Yeah, my arms were possibly bigger back then. So, but I mean, I've looked at more and more studies I thought was fascinating. I've been doing the whole, hey, heavy work followed by pump work, but we're not seeing it in the lab, and we can argue about how bad exercise science studies can be. But there's really not evidence other than the tricep long head. There's not evidence that adding isolation work on top of compounds causes growth. There was a whole meta-analysis that determined it doesn't cause any extra muscle growth, not a statistically significant amount. To do compounds and then isolate any of the muscles after. In even meta-analysis, they're like, it doesn't seem to actually cause any extra muscle growth. I mean, and again, I'm not trying to say those studies are the be-all and end-all, but I'm just saying I spent a lot of time doing curls the last couple of years. And my biceps are not a drop bigger. If anything, my arms are smaller, but it's hard to tell due to the body fat change. You know, later today, I'm going to put a bunch of pennies. Hey, Mustafa, it's the pictures are where it really pays off, actually. Like pictures, big time, dude. Like some of the photos, I get as much as 10 cents per comment, depending upon how they engage the photo. Yeah. Have your arms? No, Tom, they haven't. I mean, Tom, go to the community tab, or the same things on my Facebook right now, that comparison. I'm leaner, but are my arms or my biceps even bigger? I'm 8 pounds leaner. I didn't do any supine work, and the only isolation I did in my entire body at that time was hammer curls, like really heavy hammer curls. And I only did them maybe once a week, like 2 or 3 sets. So you tell me, are my arms bigger from having done all these curls? Well, I feel like I've overtrained my biceps, honestly. And again, I've been discussing this lately with the tendon issue and the supine stuff. I think that all the supine work I've done, and there's evidence of it from physical therapists and other lifters, may be why I can't lock my arms over my head and why I can't overhead press anymore. It seems to, I think based upon the data, that's what caused it. So I need to stop doing all of it and see if I can overhead press again. Yeah. First thing in the work on maybe isolation work. You know. All right, there we go. To live on band curls. But if I do, I need to do them only hammer, like no supine. I need to stop doing all supine work, honestly. Tom, what could I have done? Not done that and just keep hammering pull-ups and rows. Because that's what I was doing back then. I wasn't even really rowing that much at that time, though. It was mostly pull-ups. But I was doing tons and tons and tons of pressing. So if you go look at the vlogs, the training, it wasn't vlogged like I do now to where every workout is there, but there were a lot of workouts, a lot of pressing, close grip benching, because I was close grip benching then, but a lot of weighted dips, incline, overhead work. I was really strong at incline close grip. You guys will go look, I'm literally doing rep work with 250, 255 on close grip incline, like all the way in here in videos. You'll see work sets of me with like 205, 185, 205 for rep work on standing presses. You know? So, yeah. Good morning, brother. What's up? RRP, natural movement patterns. So, yeah, you spent a whole year. I mean, I literally had weeks where I did 20 to 30 sets for biceps in isolation. So what does this tell us? To the point where I had someone the other day come in and say, your back is overdeveloped, but you really need to start curling. You need to start training your biceps. And it's like they clearly didn't watch the vlogs and realize there have been whole weeks where I was literally doing some weeks 30 sets to failure for curls. Yeah. Wait. Hey, Mustafa, I'm not a grammar teacher. You spent a whole year focusing. I mean, they're both technically correct, but I'm not a grammar teacher. Sorry. And you have to learn to just have natural speech. That's the main thing. Your writing is not always going to carry over to how you speak. So, yeah, dude. I don't know. I would have to go get a textbook out to tell you which one is grammatically more correct. Without a textbook in front of me, I can't answer. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Hey, Mustafa, doing them under the pictures is really where it's at. Like, that helps me more than anything. Like engagements, relevant engagements under pictures is like a game changer for me. Because I don't actually get paid for each comment in a live. It just helps boost the algo. But yeah, relevant engagement, organic engagement under pictures is king. All right. Yep. Starting conversations with people. That's why I love when people argue with each other. You ever try a standing dumbbell overhead press? Yes. I used to do them all the time. I used to rotate them in sometimes even after barbell. Way back in the day. But right now I can't do it. So until I get the bicep thing resolved, the inflammation down, I can't overhead press. But I used to do lots of dumbbell overhead pressing and barbell both all the time. All right. I used to be a big fan of that. You just clean them up and just. Used to do a lot of clean and press with the barbell too. Do you get to keep the money on posts you delete? Yes, I do, Tom. Yep. Yes. If I delete my post, no. But if let's say a troll comes through and they leave 500 comments and I ban them and it deletes all 500, I get paid for all of them still. How beautiful is that? Like, how amazing is that? Like, a troll could come through and spam calling me a cuck 500 times, and then I ban him and it deletes his entire string. I still get paid for all of it. Isn't that freaking awesome? Like, dude, that's awesome. Like hell to the yeah. Morning, Coach. What's going on, Mass? Hope to see you back on the overhead press grind. I mean, I want to be able to do that. Like I legitimately want to be able to do that. So I'm gonna cut out all supine work and I'm gonna chill with all curls the rest of the week. See what happens. I want to add hammer curls back in at some point, but I'm just gonna pull. And I want to see if this hypothesis is correct. It's the one thing I haven't tried, and there's actual real data and research on it. As far as that causing the exact problem I'm having. And it does correlate, because I kept saying, look, I had an overuse issue from chin-ups, but I did not factor in the supine aspect. That's what seems to originally limited the range of motion. When I did that crazy weighing 220, let's do 100 chin-ups every day. Right? That's when it started. So was then the overuse due to the supine position causing, because this is what's been noted by physical therapists, researchers, too much supine work itself. And this is one reason a lot of Olympic lifters do not train biceps directly, because it can limit their overhead mobility. What ends up happening, any inflammation of the long head, it gets under there and it causes impingement in the shoulder. Is there any chance you can pivot back to focus strength? I can do both, Tom. Tom, I can keep working the physique while cutting down and focusing on strength. Why can't we do all of it? Why can't I build muscle, get stronger, continue, work on, or at least maintain strength, get leaner, work on my conditioning? Why can't we do all of it? What's preventing us from doing it? Why can't we be well-rounded? CrossFitters do it all the time. Right? Yeah, Mustafa, remember, if it's fitness-related stuff under there, it's better because it fuels engagement and it fuels conversation. Other people will then converse with you. But I love it. I love it when people get in arguments with each other under my pictures. Oh my God. Right? When they literally start arguing with nutrition back and forth, like two people and calling each other idiots, and they get in a long fight with 30 posts. And they just argue with each other back and forth. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You know what I mean? But no, back over to that point, Tom. Yeah, I'm just going to work on all of it. Because really, what will make me look better? Just getting leaner, losing more and more and more body fat. Stallone, I put up pictures of all my food. Here you go. Stallone, so go look there. All my meals are photographed and they're uploaded to both Facebook and Instagram. All my grocery carts and then my food. I take pictures of my food every day. I mean, I'm pretty much a chicken, rice, and potato bro right now. No, Tom, big paper, everything. Oh, nice. I didn't see this. So, yeah. So go through there, dude. I mean, I post up at the end of the day. I've been doing it for weeks and weeks and weeks, probably months. At the end of the day, I usually put up a picture of my meals, my Instapot, most of my plates, filling it up, whatever other stuff I eat. So there's photographs of my food. So not only I don't just tell you what I eat, you can see what I eat. You know, literally physically see the meals that I'm consuming. Big up, Coach. What's up, Peppermint? Yeah, but I appreciate the help, Mustafa. But yeah, no, just start conversations. Real conversations about fitness under my pictures is gold. I mean, the written posts do okay, but the pictures are better. All right, anything with a photo. Like literally, I just put up a post with a squat and deadlift picture talking about squats and deadlifts. I have one about white rice, so the picture of one of my meals, like that stuff. If those blow up, it's gold. Right? That's what we want. How much have you dialed back your calories? I mean, a lot. I mean, I consume 3,000, maybe a little more, so that's really pretty much poverty calories for me. I'm going to usually eat pork, but I'm doing more carb. It's been cardio. So we've cut calories back a little, but it's cardio, tons of less cardio on top of it. So we're increasing calories out also. All right. Although, Tom, you just made this profile today. That's a little suspect. What do you think, Peppermint? It's a little sus. You just made the profile this morning or yesterday? I don't know. It's a little suspect. All right. We'll wait till he screams with a big cruiser or post. Stallone says, that's some good food ideas. Thanks for sharing. Damn, I wish I knew what I'd eat as a teen. In the 20s, I would never have gotten fat and wasted years being a bloatlord. Man, not eating mostly real food. Stallone, that's the way, brother. Eating whole food, eating real food, single ingredient foods, man. Right? That really is the key, dude. But, you learned. You went through the bloat lord phase, and it was a learning experience for you. You could have avoided it, but you can't worry about the past. All you can do is learn from the past. You learned, and now you're eating all whole foods, right? You're eating real foods, whole foods. Probably just, you're eating clean, you're training. There you go. You got banned for asking a question. I see. With peppermint or your spotty senses tingling. Right. Coach isn't banned for no reason. Yeah. That alone is reason enough to get rid of someone. If they admit I previously banned them the other day, 100% chance they're a troll. That's real simple. So whatever I banned you for the other day was ban worthy. Get out of here. All right. Well, yeah, we don't ban just for no reason. They did a key phrase. They went somewhere trolling, stocky stuff, and that's the end of it. All right, next. Let's just save a whole lot of problems. All right. Let's just save a whole lot of problems and just jump the gun there. So having been previously banned is a bannable offense in my live streams. Hey, we can be banned because you banned us before? Yes. That's a valid reason. That's a bannable offense. Having previously been banned, that's for life, guys. It's not a, that's not a one and done thing. Now, have I unbanned people who came to me and created new Facebook accounts with their real face, showing their real identity, okay, and messaged me on another thing and saying, hey, I was really immature. You banned me 4 years ago. I want to formally apologize. Here's my YouTube. Will you please unban it? And I have done that, by the way. So they could post on their original account, one they've had for 8 years or whatever. I've done that with couple of times actually. Drop my life for Coach. Appreciate it, Rufio. Appreciate it. All right. But yeah, those likes are welcome, Rufio. So thank you so much. Although this one's a little slow, but we may have picked up a client in it. I went and checked. That's a real long-standing channel. He said he's going to reach out to me later today to apply. So, and I got an intake today. I have to do an interview. One of my old clients, I haven't coached in like 3 years. We're doing his intake today. So coming back along. So it all pays off in the end. Doesn't matter. If we don't get super chats, but we get a client, it's still a perfect stream. Plus one to see. Well, I mean, I lost a really good regular client because he has a heart murmur and his doctor doesn't want him lifting. And we kind of did 1 month of it. And he's like he's regular high price client, really, really great client, like really great client. I lost him this month because of a heart issue, and he hadn't been able to train for 5 weeks already. So he's like, I need to drop out for now. I mean, I can't. No point in paying for coaching if the doctor doesn't want me touching a weight while we figure out what's going on with his heart murmur. Unfortunately, and it sucks because he's a really good dude. Like, had some good conversations with him. He's just like an all-around really good dude, like in his 40s. Who's really turned his life around for fitness, and that sucks. Yeah, so if you gained a client, it could be, if they stayed on long term, yeah, it could be a 5,000 stream. That's how you got to look at it, man, at the end of the day. But that's the beauty of this. I come in here and I answer people's questions and I get clients. Like, I got one from one of these like 5-6 weeks ago, bought a package. He came and did a consultation. I talked him into a consultation. He came in just from helping him in the stream. He did a consultation and realized instead of a consultation, he needed coaching. We came to an agreement. He bought a 3-month package right there on the spot. Bam. So just helping people out in these live streams is business. Simon, no, I was 320 pounds when I started. I was fat as fuck. Dude, when I was 20 years old, I was over 300 pounds. Living on pizza and Mountain Dew. Chicken strips and French fries. No, I've not always been in shape, my friend. I'm 48. I'm in pretty good shape at 48. You've seen me squat 500 pounds. Do cardio every day. But no, dude, absolutely not. Not my whole life. And then I got sick around 30 and had to quit lifting, got out of shape. There's been some transformation there too. So there's pictures of me when I was really jacked in my 20s, got fit. And then I got out of shape when I got sick because I couldn't work out and was stuck in bed for a while. And then I rebuilt. So we saw that transformation too. But I mean, now we just keep moving forward. So no, Simon, man, I have not always been in shape. Even though I have 25 years of experience in this game, I've been out of shape twice and had to rebuild from being sick. So I got up to about 300. And, no, but we get in and we rebuild. When these things happen, how do you turn yourself around? It was do or die, Simon. I decided that I would rather be dead than be fat at that moment. When I saw myself in the mirror, I was so disgusted with what I saw that I almost gagged. When I saw myself naked in the mirror at over 300 pounds, I almost gagged and I started crying. I literally broke down and started crying. I'm like, wow, I really look like that. So next day, I went and bought some jogging shoes and like some sweats and stuff to try to sweat it out. And I started jogging and I cut all the junk out of my diet. Like I tossed out all the soda, all the frozen pizzas, all the junk food went in the trash. And that was kind of my start. And it was one of those where I looked at that and I remember saying at that moment, I was so horrified that I'm like, I would rather be dead than look like that. That was what went through my head. I'm like, I would rather be dead. I'm going to go die having a heart attack running out here in the heat. I have to. That was my mindset. Like I was so disgusted with what I saw. When I stopped and actually saw myself in the mirror. Full mirror, I'm like, oh my God. So there was no turning back. Like it was not an option at that point. It was literally my mindset was, I would rather be dead than look like this, what I see in the mirror at that point. And it was like a switch got flipped. I didn't know anything really about fitness that much at that point. So I just started running. I didn't even start lifting weights till I was under 200. I'd done some lifting a little when younger. I'd even done a little personal training for a little while at a gym for like 12 weeks at some point, but never took it serious. And then it was like, but then that switch flipped and it was, okay, I just started running and I cut all the junk out. I don't know what Snyderverse means. Can someone tell me what Snyderverse means? Can someone Urban Dictionary that for me while I'm writing? What weight are you today? Rufio. There we went. Yep. Yeah, cannot live life being obese. It's crazy how many people are like 100 pounds you see day to day, and kids too. It's sad how it affects you. 100 pounds overweight absolutely destroys your quality of life. But for me, I just started running. I couldn't really run. I could get a little short distance that was falling down. I don't know who Zack Snyder is. I have no clue who that is. Never heard of her. So I know who Dee Snider is, the singer from Twisted Sister. I don't know who Zack Snyder is. DC Extended Universe is a kid's film. Oh, that explains why I don't know anything about it. So you're asking non-fitness questions in here. Flame of Fire. First warning. You asked a non-fitness related question. First warning. Next one is a ban. But we let it slide because you don't know. DC. So only Reuters look good in the mirror. Naturals never. Oh, they can. It's non-fitness. Okay. So we get a freebie since you don't know the rule, and that's okay. Cool. But as far as eating, I didn't necessarily know what to do, but I remember back then I'm like, well, I can't eat pizza and sodas. Let's get rid of this stuff. And I remember thinking, well, what's healthy to eat? I'm like, meat's healthy, vegetables and fruit are healthy. So that's just what I ate. Right? That is literally how I started. I'm like, well, let me just eat lots of meat, fruit, and vegetables. And that's what I lived on the first few months while I was trying to figure it out. Worked pretty good. Someone who's over 300 pounds just switching to saying, I didn't even think about calories, any of that. I'm like, I'm just going to make big salads. I'm going to make meat salads, eat fruit, right? It's like I could put steak or chicken on a bunch of vegetables and throw some pickles on it for flavor. And let's eat a bunch of fruit and meat. And I ran. And that worked pretty dang good originally. I definitely was shedding pounds and inches real fast. right? It was very effective. Hit that like. Appreciate it, Dean. I may not be in here much longer on this one, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dean. Dean being a regular. Give Supers, former client, as channel membership. So Dean's an all-around solid supporter. Dean's as solid as they come for support. Dean even bought me protein powder off that Amazon wish list. So, you know, there we go, man. I appreciate the love and ongoing support, Dean. Absolutely appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Of course, he sends me a message saying I do it because, man, I've learned from you and you help people. Like, you're teaching people good stuff. So, you know, absolutely appreciate that ongoing love and support from Dean. Good morning, Jason. What's up, Paul? Paul, I just saw your check-in message come through. Where are we at on your calories? We did good? Yeah, you did good today. So Paul's going to get a public affirmation for his target calories from his MyFitnessPal. The whole public now knows that Paul hit his target food yesterday. Y'all want to give the man some props, you know. A couple days in a row, we're on point. We've hit our target numbers. So, yep. Thanks. So there you go, man. You just got the public shout out for consistency this week. Several days in a row, we are right on the money. So, all right. I don't see all y'all shout out. You guys got to give him the fist bump. Come on now. Again, I'm probably going to wind this one down in a few minutes, though. Pretty good there. The bike cardio is definitely harder than the walking. I've definitely burned more. I can tell from the sweat output. Lean protein and fiber is paramount. It really is, man, especially fiber. Like, he's over here dealing with benches. I'm like, try cantaloupe. Try eating bags of those peppers. I got him over here snacking on, like, you guys see like the bell peppers. He buys big bags of the mini peppers and he gets really hungry. So I'm just snack on those peppers while you're working. It works wonders, right? It works really, really, really well. Okay. There we go. Gotta give Paul some love. All right. So there we go. It's a team effort. It's how Team Blaha works. Right. We get a few clients who come through here. Keep healthy, everyone, fitness and diet, and a positive mind. There we go, Simon. That's the idea, man. We can all be fit, strong, jacked, healthy, all at the same time. These are not mutually exclusive goals either. It's like I'm trying to tell people we can be well-rounded. Like, you can have big numbers and have a good physique. They don't need to conflict. You don't need to sacrifice your health for either one. You know, quit trying to, well, I'm going to work in protein cookies. So just stop, guys. It's junk food. People aren't helping anyone. They're like, I have ripped abs and I eat these protein cookies. It's like, you're a piece of shit. Stop. You're promoting people eat junk food because you have ripped abs. Just stop, guys. I really dislike that with influencers. Like, they need to be promoting people eat whole foods, not whatever supplement company junk like that. Healthy TM. Just eat real foods, people. Literally, think about protein cookies. Bro, go eat an apple. Go eat apple and 2 bites of a steak to get the protein. Bring a protein cookie, protein bar. Just stop. And they act like they're promoting health because they have abs. It's like, no, you're probably genetically skinny already. And then you work junk like that in, you train and use a little train, just stop. Men and women both are doing it though. I see it online every day in my feed. Like you're not promoting health. You'd be promoting whole foods, lifting weights, cardio. Like nothing worse than I got shredded still eating ice cream and doing no cardio. It's like, wow. And you really think that's the message you need to be promoting to people? Big food makers make a fortune for selling all that crap 97% of the stores. I mean, no, I'm not going to say that's true. There's tons of whole foods. 50% of the stuff in the store is whole foods. The thing is knowing where to go in the store. Most of the junk is in the middle aisles, other than like your rice and your oats and stuff. But, generally, it's usually the peripheries in American stores. It's like produce section, your fruits, your vegetables, your meat, your dairy, and even the frozen food stuff. All the vegetables are on the outer outskirts, and the inside aisles tend to have all the junk. If you guys look, they're usually laid out that way. So generally, bakeries tend to be in the middle. So usually those outer outskirts, man, that's where your healthy stuff. Other than, again, your rices and stuff are in the middle aisles usually. But, all right. Okay. Ooh, this has been a pretty good stream overall. Like I said, no supers, but not bad. Especially when you get a client out of it. Might wind this one down shortly also. I don't want to burn myself out too much here. So unless we need bathroom breaks. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the Facebook. And I think we're going to wind down the YouTube. So I love you guys. I will do another one of these here later this morning. But love you guys, and I will talk to you next time.